Hello, hello. How are you doing this morning? If you check out this channel and these videos each week, I hope it's a little short segment that you can watch. Put together a couple ideas. Generally, I just show what I do and I set up in the morning here. I have the privilege of teaching twice a week, as you know from the other videos if you watch. And I kind of teach the same thing each week, each time, each way to each one of my students until they catch the simple drift that what we do is just practicing the practice of practicing. I know it's a weird concept. What I didn't understand, I was playing for years trying to do scales and figure out what modes were and get down on rhythms while learning new songs and material and different genres and different styles and stuff like that. And what I stumbled upon was a unique way of just like putting my fingers on the fretboard to help me warm up. Now, a lot of musicians and a lot of instructors will just show you the way they do it. It's basically what I do. I call them spider exercises. It's nothing more than taking your first finger, putting it on the first fret of any stringed instrument, and moving it up the fretboard. So what I do in the mornings, I kind of just get warmed up with my fingers, and then I set my room up the way I want it to do. The aforementioned spiders look like this. What we're looking for is to get notes that are not flat. You can do them flat, but it doesn't give you the same approach. So pointy like a arrow going right down on it. Don't want to play on the metal fretting, you want to play right in the middle on the fret. When we do this, you can keep it simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, which would be 4 quarter notes, or you could go 8th note, 8th note, 8th note, 8th note. The whole purpose is to keep your fingers on the frets and then move your finger up. You'll be blown away on how much muscle memory this will give you when playing any stringed instrument, from violin, cello, guitar, bass, ukulele. Gives you the ability to see the second exercise, which is teeter-totters. Take any chord that you know on any stringed instrument, like so on a ukulele, this is a G, on a guitar it's a D, yada yada. The different shapes on different instruments, like if it was a mandolin, it looked like something like this. You could take these shapes and invert them into different intervals, right? So you can put the lowest note of the triad on the bottom. When we do this, what we notice is our fingers can move and shift to do the same chord. So what I influenced for the rhythm hand is doing something along the lines of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and notice how I'm just playing on the 1 of the beat. 2, 3, while moving that hand into the same chord with different fingerings. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm ready for it. What I'm not doing is playing a chord like this and then waiting for the last second to move, because chances are you might hit the wrong chord. Oop. So the whole idea is that we keep our fingers going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there's a world of opportunity between those two beats. What happens after we do whole notes, which are worth 4 beats? We go down to 2 beats, which are half notes. Notice how a certain kind of rhythm just starts coming from knowing these fingering steps. What happens when we do? We can take this and bar, and then you have a sharpened chord using the same fundamental shape you know. So if this is what your chord is on an instrument that has strings, when you play it up here and lay down a bar, you make another chord. So on and so forth, works for every string instrument. Also, the concept works relatively on piano. So what we see most of the time, C1, C2, C3, C4, which is middle C. If I lay down 5 fingers, I get a C major with 2 susses in it. So if I take these 2 fingers and I take the middle finger of my 5 fingers, I get a major triad. So when I play any instrument, I get those 3 notes, and because this has 4 strings, I get 2 of the same note, depending on what chord we're playing. So what we do is we kind of learn how to play the first exercise I showed, spider exercise. So if you're new to an instrument and it has strings or frets on it, try and just move your fingers in that fashion. It's going to help you get really accustomed to, I guess, taking the edge off of what the frets are and how to get a noise out. There's a couple different complications if you fit into one of these groups. I understand. Not enough pressure down. You get like a buzzing noise because it's actually rattling on the other frets, the metal things. Other than that, being able to take yourself out of the equation of knowing where a note is. So you might not know where the third is or the fifth is, but knowing that a 1, 3, and 5 is required to make up a major triad brings us full circle, I guess, to what we do as instructors. We take this with music that you enjoy to sing, to play, and listen to, and we put it into the ballpark and we demystify what music really is and make it easier to, I don't know, put your fingers on an instrument, play it. So if you hear something in your head, it's really relatively cool to be able to put it out there, you know. So anything you have in your head, there is a chord for it. We can teach you how to do it as instructors. Generally here on Music Monday, I take a couple questions if there's anybody in the forum. It doesn't look like there's too many folks in the forum today, so I'm gonna cut it early and get ready for my first student. If you do have music questions and you haven't gotten an answer from anyone else, like your local music instructor, put it in the comment section. If I don't know the answer, I will find the answer and get back to you. Mahalo. Aloha.